Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, and I come up with it. It's Secretary Mayor Pete. That's what we were trying to go. We were trying to go back and forth. Is it Secretary Pete? Is it Mayor Pete? I think it's Secretary Mayor Pete. Does that work? I'll
take it. I don't know if it rolls off the tongue, but I'll answer to that gladly.
But we know you as Mayor Pete, so Secretary Mayor Pete. Okay. Watch. Everybody's going to be doing this from here on out. Yesterday was sort of expected. It almost looked like Majority Leader Schumer was expecting it because he voted no, so he could bring it up again. It was almost a foregone conclusion that it was not complete, not totally done, not all the kinks were worked out. So pushing it off till Monday. Was there any disappointment or it's going along as planned? The Secretary. Yeah,
you're right. This was expected, and this is where we get to see the legislative process and all of its procedural complexity. But what's not complicated is the need to get something big done on infrastructure, which is what the president and many Republicans and Democrats have agreed to do. And I saw it myself. I was on the road last week, and you can see the need in different forms in every part of the country. From right there in New York, where you have the Hudson River tunnels, you got people depending on, the absolute state-of-the-art construction technology from 1910. Whether you look at Oregon and the safety improvements that they're trying to make on their roads, what needs to be done in Chicago to connect up the South Side, tribal lands in Arizona where they have serious safety issues because of underinvestment in roads. Literally every part of this country sees the need, and I think that's why you have this incredible level of bipartisan agreement. In fact, today, the president and the vice president will be sitting down with labor and business leaders who, on economic issues, are very often on opposite sides, but are on the very same side right now, which is that we've got to get this bipartisan infrastructure framework through and to the president's desk for a signature.
We've had a couple of people from the other side on in the last couple of days. We had, you saw Kevin Brady. I don't know whether you're watching. He was on earlier. We'll get into some of his comments, but we also had Senator Portman, one of the lead negotiators on the GOP. He was on yesterday, and I think that some of his colleagues are probably not happy with the senators on the Republican side that are going to go ahead with this. He said it's the right thing to do in terms of infrastructure, to do this first plan, the $1 trillion plan. But both Rob and Kevin Brady both don't want it linked to that second $3.5 trillion, what you would call human infrastructure, Mr. Secretary. Is it still linked? Will it be, in your view, would Speaker Pelosi require that to be done first before allowing the other one to go forward?
Well, it wasn't linked yesterday, right? The vote they took in the Senate was on the infrastructure piece. And I hear a lot of this talk about whether it's linked or whether it's paired, but nobody's been able to explain to me in clear terms exactly what that even means. I think this is more of a kind of art than a science. And frankly, that's more about the politics that different members have to worry about. And I respect that. But the basic idea here is, we're hoping that Republicans can vote with us on the stuff they can support, and then they'll vote against us on the part that they can't. Although I also want to say, I refuse to give up on the idea that at least some Republicans might come around and vote for Americans to have paid family leave, might come around and vote for us to cut child poverty in half by extending the child tax credit, might come around and vote for an idea like making sure 3- and 4-year-olds can get pre-kindergarten education, or that we can have community college. Those are the right thing to do. Economists tell us they'll grow the economy, but you're right. Right now, these are on two different paths. The infrastructure part we can do together. The other might be all Democrats.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.